Welcome to the lecture series of Basic Electrical Engineering. The subject code is ECE 101. The topic of today's video lecture is commutation function of DC motor and types of DC motor. In the previous video lecture, we discussed the construction and the working principle of DC motor and DC generator. Now we are talking about the commutation in DC motor. What do you mean by that? The voltage generated in the armature placed in a rotating magnetic field of a DC generator is alternating in nature. The commutation in DC machine, or more specifically commutation in DC generator, is a process in which generated alternating current in the armature winding of a DC machine is converted into direct current after going through the commutator and the stationary brushes. So the main function of the commutator is to convert the AC current into the DC current for the constant flow. Again, in DC motor, the input DC is to be converted in alternating form in the armature, and that is also done through the commutation. So, in the DC motor, the input is DC, but armature converts it into the AC current, but the commutation function again converts it into the DC. The transformation of current from the rotating armature of a DC machine to the stationary brushes need to maintain continuously moving contact between the commutator segments and the brushes. When the armature starts to rotate, then the coil situated under one pole, for example, we can say under the north pole, rotates between a positive brush and its consecutive negative brush, and the current flows through this coil is in a direction inwards to the commutator segment. Then the coil is short circuited with the help of a brush for a very short fraction of time. The short circuited time is very slow. It is 1/500 seconds, fractions of seconds. It is called commutation period. After this short circuit time, the armature coil rotates under S pole. First it rotates under the north pole, then it rotates under the south pole and rotates between the negative brush and its succeeding positive brush. Then the direction is reversed, which is in the away from the commutator segment. This phenomena of the reversal of current is termed as commutation process. We get direct current from the brush terminal. So this is the process how we get the direct current in the commutator by the combination of commutator and brush. The combination of brush and the commutator is called commutation process. Then we talked about the back EMF. When the armature winding of a DC motor is start rotating in the magnetic flux produced by the field winding, it cuts the line of magnetic flux and induces the EMF in the armature winding. According to the Lenz's law, the law that whenever there is an induced electromotive force, that is EMF, in the conductor, it is always in such a direction that the current it would produce would oppose the change which caused the induced EMF. This induced EMF acts in the opposite direction to the armature supply voltage. Hence, this EMF is called back EMF. So, the EMF which produced opposite to the armature supply is called back EMF, and this is the formula for the back EMF. This is the formula for back EMF. N is the speed in RPM phi is the flux per pole, and Z is the number of conductors, P is the number of poles, A is the area of cross section of conductor, and EB is the back EMF. So this diagram shows the armature supply voltage. This is A to B and this is back EMF. So back EMF is required, and it gives, if back EMF in a DC motor regulates the flow of armature current, that is, it automatically changes the armature current to meet the load requirements. So this is why we need the back EMF in the DC motor. Then voltage and power equation of DC motor. V is equals to applied voltage. I am talking about this equation here. V is the applied voltage, EB is the back EMF, IA is the armature current, and RA is the armature resistance. So voltage of a DC motor is given by V is equals to EB back EMF plus IA RA. The voltage back EMF plus voltage drop across the armature. If we multiply this equation with IA, that is with armature current, the equation will become this. So VIA, this is electrical power supplied to the motor. This is EBIA, means back EMF into armature current. This is called electrical equivalent of the mechanical power produced by the motor. And then IA square R is equals to power loss taking place in the armature winding. So from here we can rewrite this equation, and EBIA is equals to input power minus power loss. So this is called gross mechanical power produced by the motor, and it is denoted by PM. So PM means power of a motor is equals to VIA minus IA square RA. Here V is the applied voltage, this is the armature current, and this is the power. Okay, so this is the equation of voltage and power equation. Then torque equation of a DC motor. Mechanical power required to rotate the shaft on mechanical side is T omega, where T is torque in Newton meter, omega is the angular velocity in radians per second. Then gross mechanical power is given by EBIA. EB is the back EMF and IA is the armature current. If we are equating these two equations, equation 1 and equation 2, we will get this. EBIA is equals to TW. From here we find out the omega is given by 2 pi m by 60. This is speed in RPM. Then EB is equals to back EMF is given by this equation. Put these values in the equation, and from here we find the value of T. T is torque. From here we find out this. Here in this equation, P, Z and A, these are the constant values. P is the number of poles, fine, and A is the area and Z is also constant, and we can write it as T is directly proportional to phi Ia. Thus, torque produced by the DC motor is proportional to main field flux, phi is the field flux, and Ia is the armature current. So, the formula for torque is given by this equation. Then the types of DC motor. We are having main three types of DC motors: DC shunt motor, DC series motor, DC compound motor. And DC compound motor is further classified short shunt compound and long shunt compound. And these are further classified commutative compound motor, differential compound motor, and long shunt compound motor is further divided into two parts: commutative compound motor and differential compound motor. But here we study only these two motors according to the syllabus: series shunt motor, DC shunt motor and DC series motor. These are the diagrams representing the different motors. This is first diagram shows separately excited DC motor, and then this is shunt motor. This is series motor, this is long shunt compound motor, and this is short shunt compound motor. We are discussing all these one by one. First, if I am talking about the shunt motor, then in shunt motor, field winding is connecting in parallel with the armature. As shown in this figure, field winding is connecting in parallel with this is field winding and it is connecting in parallel with the armature. Fine. In series motor, it is connecting in series with armature, and in long shunt compound, it is in series as well as in parallel. And here it is short shunt compound, it is in series with this and in parallel with this. Is different specifications, different connections of the long shunt compound and short shunt compound, but we are concentrated on these shunt motors and series motor only. Then first we are talking about the DC shunt motor. As I have told you that in this field winding is connected in parallel with the armature. The current through the shunt field winding is not the same as the current in armature. So in DC shunt motor, armature and field windings are connecting parallel across the supply voltage. This is the supply voltage, this is the parallel winding, field winding, and this is armature. So these two are in parallel with each other. The resistance of the shunt winding RSH is always higher than the armature winding RA. We are having one resistance across the shunt and that resistance is always greater than the armature resistance. Since V and RSH both remains constant, shunt resistance and supply voltage both remains constant, the shunt current remains constant. This current, the current produced here is also constant, as the field current is responsible for generation of flux. So in this case, in the case of DC shunt motor, phi field flux is directly proportional to shunt current. So shunt motor is also called constant flux motor. This is the this is about shunt motor. Then torque and speed equation of DC shunt motor. T is directly proportional to phi A, as we have seen in the previous slide. But in DC shunt motor, phi is directly proportional to this current. So ISH means shunt current is constant. Therefore, this phi is also constant. So torque in DC shunt motor can be written as T is directly proportional to IA, armature current. Then back EMF EB is equals to N phi ZP upon A60. This is the formula for the back EMF. Now here ZP, A and phi and 60 are constant. We can write it as N is directly proportional to EB or directly proportional to V minus IA RA. So here, from here we can say that speed is directly proportional to back EMF or directly proportional to applied voltage and the voltage drop across the armature. Now the characteristics of DC shunt motor. We are having three different characteristics. First is torque versus armature current characteristic. Second, speed versus armature characteristics, armature current characteristics. Then speed versus torque characteristics. We are discussing one by one. Torque versus armature current characteristics of DC shunt motor. This characteristics gives us information that how torque of machine will vary with armature current. It is directly proportional, so it gives a linear graph. On the x-axis we are having armature current IA, and on this side we are having torque T, and as this it gives this relationship directly proportional, so we are having a linear graph. Then speed versus armature current characteristics of DC shunt motor. First we write down the formula for back EMF. This is the formula for back EMF, which can be written like this. From here we find out this N is equals to K V minus IA RA upon phi. Now here we can say that K is equals to 60A upon ZP. So these are the constant values which are replaced with the constant K. In DC shunt motor, when supply voltage V is constant, the shunt field current and flux per pole will also be constant. So the relationship between speed will become speed is directly proportional to applied voltage and voltage drop across the armature. Fine. So it gives this type of graph, means that it gives a constant speed. On x-axis we are having the armature current IA, and on the y-axis we are having the speed N. The third characteristics is speed versus torque characteristic of DC shunt motor. From the above two characteristics, previous two characteristics of DC shunt motor, the torque developed and speed at various armature currents of DC shunt motor may be noted, and if these values are plotted, the graph representing the variation of speed. If we are taking the readings of previous two graphs and we are plotting torque versus speed, we are getting this type of graph. This curve, this graph is similar to this previous graph. It is similar to this graph, which is this curve resembles the speed versus current characteristics, as the torque is directly proportional to the armature current. These are the applications where the DC motors are used: lathe machines, drilling machines, grinders, blowers, compressors. Then second type of machine, DC series motor. In this case, in this type of DC motor, the armature and field windings are connected in series. This is field winding and this is armature, and both are in series. The resistance of the series field winding is much smaller than the armature resistance RA. So in this case, this resistance, the resistance of this winding is lesser than armature winding. So the flux produced is proportional to the field current, but in this IF, field current is equals to armature because both are in series. Phi is directly proportional to Ia. Thus, flux can never become constant in DC series motor as long as IF and Ia also get changed. So this is the point. Thus, DC motors is not a constant flux motor. DC series motor is not a constant flux motor. Then torque and speed equation of DC series motor, this is same as the previous one. Here the torque is directly proportional to phi Ia, but we can write IF, field current, is equals to Ia. Then we can replace this phi with Ia. We can say T is directly proportional to Ia. Ia is the armature current. So this is the formula for back EMF. From here we are finding out the speed. Speed is directly proportional to back EMF upon phi, or it can be written like this, or it can be written like this. These are the characteristics of DC series motor. Here again we are having the three characteristics: torque versus armature current, speed versus armature current, then speed versus torque. We are discussing one by one. The first one is torque versus armature current characteristics of DC series motor. Torque developed in any DC motor is, torque is given by T directly proportional to phi A. In case of DC series motor, as field current is equal to armature current, and for a small value of Ia, phi is directly proportional to Ia, and we can write it T is directly proportional to Ia. When Ia is large, the phi remains constant, but due to saturation, the torque is directly proportional to armature current for large value of Ia. This is the characteristic curve of our torque versus armature current. On this side we are having torque, and on this side we are having armature current, and this is the saturation point occur, and this is the part where T is directly proportional to Ia square, and after some time the saturation occurs, and after that it becomes directly proportional because TA is directly proportional to Ia, as explained in this slide. Then the second characteristic is speed versus armature current. Here N is equals to KV minus Ia RA upon phi, and this is the graph. On this side we are having armature current, and on this side we are having the speed. Then third one, speed versus torque characteristics. This is the characteristics graph for the speed versus torque. Then these are the applications of DC series motor. These motors are useful in the applications where starting torque required is high and quick acceleration, tractions, lifts, cranes, rolling miles, conveyors. These are the examples of series DC series motor. With this lecture, your basic electrical engineering series is complete from my side. Hope you like all the videos. Do subscribe my channel and listen all the videos for your complete coursework. Thank you so much, and best of luck for your exams.